aftermath of the Protestant Reformation, the Jesuit order was instrumental in keeping Europe Catholic and spreading the word of Christ to foreign lands. And one of these lands was China. But China was closed to foreigners. Fortunately for the Jesuit order, many of their members were the cream of the crop in the sciences. So instead of going to China and being like, you know what, we're gonna evangelize you. Now the Chinese were like, hey, we like science. The Jesuits said, we like science too. And the Chinese were like, come in. Now getting in was only half the battle because the Jesuit missionaries had to prove their worth against the Chinese scientists. And in what can only be described as an epic science showdown, the Jesuit missionaries came on top. The Chinese emperor, impressed, allowed the Jesuits to reform the Chinese calendar. And fun fact, the Chinese still use pretty much the same calendar today, and the date of the Lunar New Year is based on the rules set out by the Jesuit missionaries. Then, tragedy struck. 2 members of the royal family died. The enemies of the Jesuits, jealous of the Jesuits, blamed the Jesuits for their death. The Jesuits were judged guilty of plotting to destroy China. So the Chinese sentenced them to what is known as death by slow slicing. Imagine watching your body get sliced bit by bit, piece by piece before you die. The Jesuit missionaries were ready to be martyrs. But just before the sentence was pronounced, a blazing light appeared in the sky. It was a comet, then an earthquake which split apart the imperial wall. The Chinese were like, I don't think heaven wants us to kill the Jesuits. And they let the Jesuits go unscathed and returned them to their former positions. The Jesuits used science to bring the word of Christ to others. The Jesuits knew the perils of going to China, but they chose to do everything for God's greater glory. They put God's will before their own, and our Lord took care of them. So just like the Jesuits, in everything, seek first the kingdom of God, and grace cometh. Cometh.